In June of 2023, I had a vision that Kim Kardashian's career was going to pivot and that she was going to move into more expansive industries. So things that aren't just going to be more entertainment, but that she was going to take up more space, expand her influence, and thus her empire. I literally said that she was going to have a course or a program on how to become a powerhouse, a businesswoman, and more of a Kardashian, that it was going to be very girl bossy, and that it was going to be a masterclass on building an empire, but with a little bit of selling magic in a bottle, having faith that you can teach someone the skills, but you can't give them the talent. At the time, I also mentioned that I felt like she was going to get into AI and augmented reality, both things that I think a lot of people have chatter about in terms of her seemingly being very into the techie, like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, like superhuman wellness stuff currently. I don't think at the time I had the right verbiage or the right lexicon to describe that, because this was only in 2023. And obviously things have technologically like really advanced since then. I did talk about her acting or things regarding like movies and film, being behind the camera, doing directing, producing, which she's obviously done since then. Really pivoting business-wise, having a lot of things in her private life and behind closed doors becoming public, which wasn't on her own account, but rather through the lens of Kanye West's documentary In Whose Name, where we see kind of like the very emotional dramatics of Kim and Kanye's relationship, really airing shit out. But then I also mentioned that I felt like there was going to be some involvement with prophets, leaders, gurus, cults, dangerous groupthink, which again makes me think that it's the overlap of like the techie stuff she's getting into now, like biohacking. And then the other way that I felt like this might have manifested and possibly still could is things having to do with like church, esoteric, magical, like mysticism stuff. But again, I think now that we're seeing the way that the cards are falling, I was maybe trying to categorize the planetary influence to fit the themes I thought were possible, where now I feel like it's probably more so breaking into, again, this like AI beyond human transhumanism space. Anyways, we got the business course, we got the 10 commandments, and it's just funny how sometimes you can make these predictions, and I never care what people think. I never care when people are like, there's no way this could happen, or if it happens so much later, because we don't always get to see what's going on in the background front and center all the time. Seeds are planted and sometimes they take years to manifest, and 2 years is not a lot in the scope of like astrologically seeing when something begins and then when it physically like tangibly materializes. So just some interesting stuff, but follow Kayla Taught Me on Instagram. All of my accurate came true predictions will be recorded there.